Hey everyone, I'm Mason, co-founder of the Tokenomics Design Space, or TDS for short, and I want to walk you through the TDS today. The TDS is an all-in-one solution to help people easily design sustainable tokenomics. There are three major problems that we see people having in the space. The first being modeling out of supply and demand, the second being a lack of guidance on the design process itself, and the third being a lack of a tokenomics audit or an expert opinion. So let's hop over to the tool and I'll walk you through each of these. As you can see, we start off with supply. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what you should be doing here, you can always come down to the resources section, which can be found in every step of the TDS. And here you get a thorough explanation and even a task to be carried out as to what you should be doing. So as you can see, we have divided our allocations between internal and external, and it is fairly simple to go ahead and add more. You can either come and select from a template, or you can just add one yourself. The simple process of adding a name, a user, and then a distribution type, either linear or log. For the purpose of this walkthrough, we can just go with what we've currently got. And then you can be as nuanced as you like with supply, right? You can break it down as you see fit, and it's definitely just up to whatever you feel works, right? Now, in terms of demand, we can also divide these into two types, right? In demand from utility and demand from a mechanism. Again, if you're unsure what that means, you can come down to the resources section and educate yourself. And the same way that we could add from a template in terms of supply, we can do the same thing from utility, right? And we've sort of created a bunch of popular token utilities here, and the same thing for mechanisms. Now, as you can see, when opening up or adding a utility, we can give it a name, we can summarize what we're actually doing with this utility, and then we can select from one of the predetermined utilities. We will be expanding upon this list in the future. Then we obviously come to estimating demand, right? Because this is what is required to get an idea for modeling out your supply versus demand. Now, there's multiple ways that we can do this. One of the most interesting is the spreadsheet, which we'll get to shortly. So covering a mechanism is fairly similar, and a mechanism simply has one extra requirement, one extra field rather, where you select the requirement. So this is what we consider to be the mechanism itself. And then we select the incentive, right? So in this case, we have previously created in the supply section staking rewards. So obviously we're going to link the staking mechanism to the staking rewards. And here we can go ahead and check out the spreadsheet. So what you'd pretty much do is create a spreadsheet, and you would, you'd get the URL here, and then you'd open it up. So in here we have, let me just move myself about. In here we've got a guide also as to what this is actually doing, right, and how we're coming about an estimate for demand. So you can read through that. There are three different types of rewards that we've pre-built into these templates. And then you can go about modeling your demand, right? And then you can choose from whichever type of reward you'd like to select. And then once you've finished out detailing your demand, you would come back and upload this to the TDS, and then you are pretty much set on your way to go and create more demand mechanisms if you need them, or more utilities. So this all culminates in the supply versus demand screen, where basically we are mapping out and modeling to a basic degree our supply versus demand. As you can see, we have our supply side here bifurcated between internal and external, and the same thing for demand in terms of utility and mechanisms. As you can see, this is where we are going to try to gain some insights into if what we've designed is kosher or not, right? Now, in terms of a lack of guidance on the design process, I briefly touched on it before, but for example, let's just open up something like, I don't know, similar projects. And as you can see, we've got a resources section on every single screen, right? So this guides you through the thought process and the what you need to be doing in each of these steps. But then we've also got the example section, which is full of reports on similar projects, and you can obviously filter these down based on your requirements. The last thing is obviously a tokenomics audit, and The Tokenomics Design Space is plugged into Tokenomics DAO, which is full of tokenomics experts to obviously come and help you either with design itself, or you can come to us for an audit, right? To sort of make sure that what you've been doing is, if there's any holes in it that we can find, right? The last thing I wanted to cover is the preview, right? This is something that quite a few people have found helpful. And the idea is that the easiest way to showcase your tokenomics, obviously this hasn't been filled out, but this should be the easiest way to showcase how you've designed your tokenomics, right? So this is useful to show to community members, team members, VCs, etc. Well, that's everything. I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough, and feel free to reach out on Discord, Twitter, Telegram, wherever you feel fit, and we'll sure be in touch.